All right, in this next section, this is probably where you're going to be spending the rest of your time in terms of helping your business to market, and that is in through your emails. Now, as you saw in the previous training video, we talked about workflows and we showed you how to send out emails from workflows. So editing the emails is going to be very similar when you're sending out broadcasts, but there's going to be a difference between an automation-based or workflow-based message and a broadcast message. And then there's also, to throw a little bit of a monkey in the wrench, a wrench in the system, there is another type of email, and that's your one-on-one emails. I'm talking about the bulk emails. I'm not talking about the individual emails that you send out from Outlook or Gmail or whatever platform you're on. I'm talking about your marketing messages, your mass marketing messages. And that's what Evolve is meant for. So we have the potentially one-on-one email automated messages coming from flows of like purchases or webinar registrations or forms and all that stuff. And then those emails get sent out from those workflows. And now we're talking about the broadcast marketing messages where you're scheduling a message or you're sending it out right now to a segment or entirety of your list. Okay, so these are marketing messages. So let's dive into that, and where you're going to find that is in the marketing section on the left panel. Now, by default, it gets into your social planner, and we talk about in the onboarding session, so I'm not going to go over that. But what we're going to do is we're going to click on the emails box right here. Now, I'm going to open up, let me see, I'm going to open up my own account, and I'll show you some of the email marketing messages that have gone out. Because it'll give you some additional data and seeing what that looks like. Okay, so from here, I'm going to click on emails. You can see inside of the email section all the different statistics that are applicable. Now, these are real, actual statistics, by the way. So I can see all of the engagement summary. So of all the emails that have been sent out in the past, let's say month, let me just choose since last month. August to July. Where's August? There it is. Did that not work? July 1st to August 7th. Okay. Okay, so since July 1st to today, August the 7th, you can see that 100% of my emails have been sent out. The majority of them have been sent out through an email campaign, which is what I'm talking about right now. 50 of them have gone through workflows with those automations that I just showed you before. And then bulk action campaigns, there's nothing. Of all of the 2,105 emails that have been sent out, 1,240 something of them have been opened. So 59% open rate, and then 7% click rate. Right? These statistics are going to be very important for you to understand. So I'm going to go through these metrics and the reasons for these metrics first. The first thing is this: your cumulative rate, it should always be 100%. If you're getting less than 100%, it means that your emails are not hitting people's inboxes for several different reasons. It could be because you're blacklisted, or your emails are not configured properly in terms of the DMARC, the DMARC, the DKIM, those settings. I set those up for you. So if you're not seeing this, it means I did something wrong or it got changed. So this should always be 100. So that means all of your emails have gone out successfully. The opened rate is how many people physically viewed the email, not just like looked at it in the list, but viewed the email. This is going to be important because if the higher this number, it means the more engaging your emails are. The higher this number here means the subject line is really good, or the preview line is really good. Okay, if this number is really low, it means your emails are not so good and have a lot of room of improvement. Now, what is a good open rate? You should never compare yourself to another business. Comparison is the thief of joy. A good open rate is the highest as possible. A good open rate is a higher email open rate than your last email. So for mine, it's 59%. Is that good? I'm saying it's pretty average compared to where I've been at in terms of all of my email messages. However, as I continue to do and practice email list hygiene, which I talked about before, this open rate will get better and better and better. Because of the 41% of the people that didn't open it, why are they not opening it? Either it's going to their junk mail folder and they're not seeing it, or they're just not even checking not even bothering, and they're just deleting it. Okay, so I don't want them on my list anymore. So part of my email list hygiene is to look for people who have been unengaged for the X number of weeks or months or whatever it is, and delete them. I don't want them in my list because this is messing around with my open rate. So this gives me an idea of how the email subject line and the preview line are working. Now, clicked is a different story. Clicked means that they opened it, but clicked on the call to action in that email. So remember I was talking about earlier, simplicity is the key in your emails. It's one thing, click on the link or don't. That's it. Not, by the way, I have a free registration for, by the way, I have a free webinar coming up. Oh, and also an ebook that you can download. But if you don't want either of those, then you can also click here and just go to my website. 3 different call to actions, 3 different points of confusion. Unless it's specifically needed to say, click here if you like the color blue, click here if you like the color red, or click here if you like the color green. Okay, different choices, and that's purposeful. All right, so that click rate basically tells me that your email content is actually good. So this open rate says the subject line and the preview line are valuable to them and they're opening your email. The click rate says the content is actually so good that you compelled them to click on the message and click on that link to do whatever you want them to do. Remember, I'm guiding you. You're entering my grocery store, right? I've enticed you to even just come to my grocery store, right? So that's what this clicked is. So for me, a 7% is on average. It's pretty good, right? Depending upon how big your list is, these numbers may get smaller and smaller and smaller, but that's why you have to practice list hygiene. So I know some people who have 100,000 people in their email and their open rate is way higher than mine, right? It's because they practice list hygiene. All right, so those are your general numbers here. Now you can get into specifics. All right, so since July the 1st, 2155 emails delivered, 14 bounced. Oh man, why did they bounce, right? 10 unsubscribed. Okay, 0 spam complaints. Whew. Okay, but if you look at this number here, 10 divided by 2155 is 0.04%. So this actually means people are, almost 60% of people are looking at my emails, and it can change. It's not always the same 60%, but man, whoo, thank goodness, they actually want my emails. If this number for unsubscribed is higher than 1%, your account's going to get flagged. Your account will get flagged, and you might be put on a watch list. And if it happens again and again, you actually may be banned from using the email servers through Evolve. Okay, these are public email servers. And so if you get banned, that means you have to pay separately for a different email service. And it'll be like $10 to $20 a month, but then we would have to configure your account to send messages instead of through Evolve, it gets sent through this other platform. Okay, so it's not that Evolve is useless, it's just that you have to pay for a different sending platform. If, however, the spam complaints though, okay, I have a 0% spam complaint thing during this time period. If, however, spam complaints get over 0.3%, so 1/3%, so that's 3 out of every 1,000, then very likely you are going to lose your ability to send your email through our free platform. Okay, so it will mean that you are going to have to purchase separate external, not through us, email sending platform. Again, Evolve through that platform. Now, there's pros and cons to that. If you do pay for this external email platform, you're not on a shared server anymore. What happens is you're on your own dedicated, well, for the most part, those are usually $50 to $100 and up. But now you're using your own dedicated email server, which actually increases the chances of your email deliverability. But we're not having a problem. Why? Because all of my emails are pretty good, right? You can look at all the details, blah, 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 all that type of stuff. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of actually sending out an email. So you can see here in my campaigns, I'm just going to refresh this so the data is up to date. You can see here in my email campaigns, all of the broadcast messages that I've sent out to either segments or my entire list. So you can see here, these are the last 3 emails, and there's way more emails of that, but these are the last 3 that I sent with regards to July 17th, July 30th, and August 6th, different messages that went out regarding my videos that have gone out. So let's click on this guy here. All right, so it was created on the 17th The last update for data was on August the 7th. I sent it from this account with this email address to 701 people on my list. All 701 got the email. All of them were processed successfully, except the 0.8% went to junk mail for some reason, right? So, but that's still pretty good, right? Now, from that, 5 got skipped. Why? Unsubscribed or invalid, whatever it is. None failed. All right, cool. That was my email message. Let's check more stats. So now I'm looking at this specific email and seeing exactly what happened. 65% open rate, 8.38% click rate. This is really good. Over time, how does that email perform? You can see obviously when I send it out, it's good. After that, some stragglers. Check out the email a day later, 2 days later, 3 days later, 4 days later, right? All the stats on that email. I can also see who's doing certain things in the email itself. All right, so this is actually really beneficial information for me because I can understand now, click performance. It was always the same link because I sent out the same link in the email in 3 or 4 different places. One was on the image, one was on the, early in the email, one was below the email, etc. And one was the direct click here to watch the video. I can see what people are clicking on. Look here. Whoa. 73 of the 111 clicks, they clicked on the image, not the text call to action. Well, that's really interesting. So I should always, add an image, because that almost guarantees me that they're going to click. So let's go back and let's look at the actual email itself. That's the email. Hey, first name. If connecting multiple HDMI sources to every computer, see, I talked about the problem. Multiple HDMI sources ever slowed you down, or you're wrestling with multiple USB This is a problem my ICA has. Well, here's the solution. I just dropped, here's a link, here's a link, here's a link, 3 links, but most of them clicked on the image. So I know that I'm going to create an image in every single one of my emails that go out. So if you look at that email versus the best laptop cooling pad, there's an image. So I know that this format for my emails works really, really well. Now, one of the things that I had shared in a different training about emails is make your emails look like it's from a friend. Don't make it look like a marketing email. And I'm going to show you that in a couple of seconds. This email looks like it could be from a friend. Why? Because we write to each other in text. We don't send a branded background with a header and footer links in an email. Like, we don't send that type of stuff. This looks like a personal email. The reason why I do this is because it has better chances of getting into their inbox versus their promotional folder. So what I like to do is I like to click on the 3 dots and I like to hit clone. When I hit clone, I can go in and edit the same email based on that template that I'm using, or I can always go into and create a different email template. So I can actually go here and say, where is it? Oh, templates here. I can go in here and create an email template myself, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go here and now create the actual campaign itself. So we're back in our demo account, and I'm going to click on new. And if I have different templates, I can use the templates right here, or I can use these ones that are from Evolve. Now, let me just show you what these templates look like. They look nice, right? Like, look at this fancy pants message here. It's pretty, but this isn't what a friend would send. This is a marketing message. So this, I can tell you right now, is very high chances of going into the promotions folder, which often gets unlooked at, or the time it takes for people to go to the promotions folder is a lot longer than looking at a regular email in their inbox. So I'm always suggesting to you guys to go ahead and create a blank email. Now from here, you also have the 3 options: a design editor, a code editor, and a plain text editor. All of my emails, 99% of them, are always plain text editor because it's an email from a friend. So let's go in there and now start designing the email. So very similar to the website editor, except a few other caveats. One is I'm going to name my email campaign here. So this is going to be webinar announcement Sorry if I have spelling errors. September 8th, 2025. Okay, so this is the webinar that's announcing the September 8th, 2025 email that's going out. I'm going to see if I can increase the size. All right, so delete that content. Hi, and again, I can't use hi Daniel because then everyone's going to see the name Daniel. I have to say hi, custom value, contact, first name. This is going to enter their first name. Hi, Daniel. Have you ever, whatever? Well, I have created this webinar just for you. Click here to register. Okay, and then, if I wanted to do an image, I can insert an image there. So add image. Alt text, always have that, whatever you want to call it. Just so like click here to subscribe. So you can do that. And let's say that let's say that the URL is going to go to happen to be google.com. Okay, so image action link, paste there in a new window, update. Click here to register, select the content, go to your link URL. That'll be your Zoom, right? Or your, sorry, that will be your registration page. So in fact, I would be sending them to this URL, right? So here, boom. Now I'm doing it properly. I'm going to click here. I'm going to send them here. All right. I'm going to even do this one just for you. Don't go crazy on it. Don't pepper spray everything, but just for you. Click here to register. Or remember here, when Monday, September 8, 2025, time 4:00 p.m. Eastern, where Zoom. Right, click here to register. If you want to resize this, I think you can do that a little bit too. See you then. Copy Daniel. And then enter 10 times whatever it is. Because the reason why I add these is because the unsubscribe link will show up immediately after your last line. So I kind of bury that a little bit deeper in the email, okay? So once that is done, what you're going to do is you're going to send or schedule. And now the first thing I always tell people to do is hit the schedule button. This button right here. Hit that button. Do not leave it on send now. Hit this one. Important, alert. Hit schedule. The reason why is because if I left it here by accident and I filled out the required fields, if I accidentally hit this, the email goes out right away. So please hit schedule. And even if I enter all the required information, even if I accidentally hit this button, it'll still schedule it for at least 15 minutes from now. So I can go in and cancel that. Right? Going to be very important. All right. Okay, so I'm going to hit that. I'm going to schedule it for, let's say, tomorrow morning because we're already in the afternoon. I'm going to schedule it for tomorrow at 6 a.m. my time, Eastern. I'm going to say who it's from. Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's just use my personal email. All right. It's going to be from name. The webinar that was made just for you is happening. The preview text. So remember, your subject line and your preview line are extremely important to increase what? The opening rate. So make sure you go through at least 10, 20, 30 different subject lines and then pick the best one, the most compelling one. And then same thing with your preview header text. This is the preview line when you look at the emails in your entire list. That first thing that shows up underneath the subject is a preview line. That's what's going to be in this box here. So whatever you have to put here, insert your preview line here. Now, this section here is the important part. This is where or who in the list we're going to be sending things out to. So if you recall, we had smart lists, we have tags, we have the entire list, we have all of that stuff. And so that is going to be dependent upon how, who I want to send this broadcast to. Let's say I only want to send this broadcast message out to only those who are only high priority follow-ups. Let's just say, remember, it's just a tag. So I can say, I can build a segment, right? The tag is what? High priority. One person in there, right? I could also say they're high, I can say nope. How many people are in there? Their follow-up and their tag is high priority. Oh, no one's there. Follow-up and their tag is warm lead. Oh, no one. Okay, tag is not high priority. Or whatever it is. Let's just say that they had different configurations. The number will change, right? So I can say if they have a tag and they don't have a tag. So I'm segmenting the list. I'm sending it only to specific people. The other thing you could do is you could say send to a smart list. Send to those who are only high priority. Or send to those only who did not download my ebook. Right, these are the smart lists that I had created originally. These smart lists. So I can send it to those people. So I don't have to deal with this whole, they have this tag, but not that tag. I already have that. Okay, so if I said to this smart list, the people who did not download my ebook, because why? Because I'm going to promote my ebook on the webinar, just as an example. Now here, you're going to say, do you want to include the people who end up having or validate this smart list, right, of did not download ebook, whatever the criteria is? If there's anyone who shows up between this time of me creating the draft and then the time the message is sent, do you want to include them or not? You can say, yes, include them. So this is always going to be anyone who lands in that criteria as of the moment this email is going to be sent. Or is it just whoever's right now? Okay, so a lot of the time you're going to say include them. So you'll choose from these different things on who to send your broadcast messages out to. In this example, you can also just say send to everyone. And that's it. Just send to everyone. Okay, so this will exclude like for example, if you say send to everyone and you had 1,000 people on your list, you're going to get what, 1,000 emails technically being sent out. But what happens? Remember I said, what if 70% of them unsubscribed or did not hit a do not disturb or do not email? It's technically going to go out to them, but it's not. So it's still technically 1,000 sends on your account, but 700 were blocked. So it's counting against your quota. So don't just do this. Always create smart lists if you can, right? Or just keep your list clean. All right. Tracking click links. I always do this because you remember that one stat that I showed you that showed, let me go into here. Remember the stat where I showed you which links were clicked? Oh, no, that's this one. That shows up when you do this. Okay. Now UTM tracking, this is more for marketing purposes. If you understand what this is, then go ahead and enable it. If you don't, do not worry, do not enable it. You can also tag them based on certain conditions. So let's say I want to tag the ones who clicked on that link, right? So in this campaign, sorry. Contact click the link. That's the one that link that I sent out to the landing page. I can set a tag and say, so it's going to be something like this. It's going to be this, but it's going to be interested, right? So let me just get rid of that. So it's going to be webinar-august-8-2025 interested, right? Or clicked. So when I do this, if they get the email and they click, they get this new tag. So I don't have to send my, like, I don't have to rebroadcast this invitation out to all 1,000 people on my list every time. If 700 of them are not interested, I'm not going to burn my leads and have them potentially unsubscribe. I'm going to say, add this condition. And then later on, as I'm sending more emails out later, I can just say, send to those who have that tag only, right? So I could say, build a segment, tag is not clicked. I hope that says clicked. Oh, no. There it is. Tag is not clicked. Or excuse me, tag is clicked. No, what am I doing? Tag is clicked. That way, it's only the people who are interested in that email because they clicked once, but they never registered, right? So tag is clicked and tag is not registered. You can see here when I hover above it. So I'm excluding people who've already registered, but saying these are people who have not registered, but they've clicked at least one of those emails. So I know you're interested, you just haven't registered yet. So this helps me to segment my list properly so that I'm not burning my list. So I'm not annoying people who could care less about this webinar. All right. So once that's done, oh, by the way, there's this other option here as well. Resend email to everybody who's not opened the message. You can totally use this. It works really, really well. So what I would do is I would go here and copy the subject. And then I would do that. So resend this email out to, let's say, for example, after a day. For those people who did not open the message, our system will automatically email them again after this time criteria. And it's going to say this as the subject. What's nice about this RE colon is that their email clients, when it says RE colon, will actually append it or attach it to the same conversation thread as that first email. So they can see both of those emails. One went out the day before, one went out just now. Okay, and once this is done, you can hit review and schedule. Oh, great, recipient info is missing. Oh, because I had 0 here, so let me just change this. Just going to say all, schedule. Okay, and now this is just going to, now it's going to save this, and it's going to schedule it for that date and time that it's going to go out. So if I'm going to refresh this page, it takes a couple seconds to update. Yeah, so now it's just waiting. It's going to be waiting for that time period of when it's going to send out. Okay? So that's how you're going to send out your broadcast emails. These are messages, again, that go to your full list or your segmented list based on a specific date and time, not part of your workflows.